Hey guys, how are you? It's Brad Sundberg in the studio with MJ. I am in Saint Jacques, Canada. Is it Saint Jacques, Quebec?
Quebec,
Quebec?
that's right, yes.
About 40 minutes north of Montreal. And I am in one of the most unique facilities. I've been in studios all over the world. This is one of the most unique, purpose-built facilities I've ever been in. So I want to introduce you to Jerry Lemay.
That's right.
Did I get it right? Lemay?
You got it perfectly.
Jerry is, you're retired. You were a business owner, if I'm not mistaken, and you sold your business, and this is kind of your passion. You've wanted to do this your whole life.
True.
Okay. What did you do before this? What kind of business were you in?
Well, I first started to work when I was 18. I decided to quit school. I decided to get into manufacturing. So I was working for a plastic industry, in the plastic industry for 40 years. And
Wow.
I even work with friends. Everything is based on friends that surround you.
Networking.
Network, that's right. So
Yep.
when you want to grow, whatever you want to grow, you need somebody around you. So I always been a good guy to be surrounded, have the capacity of bring good people around me.
Okay.
And this,
So you sold your business, you kind of quasi-retired.
that's right. Even the business I was running, the employees was all my friend. They were all good friends of mine. And even when I sold the business, I'm still friend with them. Concerning the music, while I was playing music since I was 12, 13,
Okay.
just pick up a guitar and play some Beatles.
You're a Beatles guy, through and through. So the name of the facility is Love Is All You Need, obviously based on the Beatles song. What is the Beatles' influence? You grew up listening to them. You've just
Yeah, in the 70s, my neighborhood, they were playing guitar, and this Beatle music was always around. And when I looked at the video and see them, with the guitar and be like, it sounds funny to do that kind of job. So I hooked up with one of my friends at school, and we started to put a band together and play in the school, first time. And on the big ice, where they play hockeys, and so we did a little concert down there. Everybody was out of tune. It was really hard to hear ourselves. The experience was really bad, but just to be on the stage in the front of your friend when you're at school, it kinds of creates something in you.
okay.
And the music stayed there for forever.
Right. So years later, I mean, you've been playing music your whole life, obviously.
Yes.
But years later, you sell the company. Was this something you've been thinking about, dreaming about for years and years?
Not really. I knew I was going to be involved in the music, but on this particular level, not really.
Okay.
So this was a growing thing,
Well, how did it start?
Well, it's really started by I live in Saint Jacques here for about 15 years. We had a cottage there. We have a beautiful little spot. But and then I saw this building here in the village for sale, and I said, there was just a little sign. Took the number, meet the guy, and then I went inside and I made a deal with him. But the whole idea was it was to play the music, but it was also to get into videos, because I was still owning the fencing company. And the fencing company require some video for the installation and all that. So I decided to buy the building here just, for the business purpose. And then I decided to put a stage together and finish the entire building in a great spot for musician or any creator of image and sound.
Now, I've been meeting some of your team. You've collected an amazing group of people. How many employees, approximately?
Yeah, we have about 8 now that turns around.
Okay, so there's about eight people that are employed by this facility,
yes.
or employed by this facility. You've got 3 apartments. I'm in one of the apartments. It's very comfortable. I'm in studios. There's almost a little bit of a joke when I bring my event to a city. Studios are going out of business. It's a tough business to be in, and it's almost a bit of a joke. If I do my event at your studio, it's probably going to go out of business in the next 6 months because I try to go back the next year and they're gone. You got into a really difficult business at a very interesting time.
Yeah, it's a lot of investment. If you wanna have good equipment and make the musician pleased with the sound and what you can offer them, but you know, I made it for the public. I made it for musician, but basically I made it for myself first.
I understand. No,
So it's my big playground. So if I can bring some people in, and well, that's fine. If not, I will use it for myself.
So, I mean, there's an American expression. I'm sure you know it. It's from a movie. If you build it, they will come. And I was talking to my wife this morning on the phone, and I said it's taken me a little while to wrap my head around this thing, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But it reminds me of that movie. If you build it, they will come. And I can't help but thinking that you've got something here. It's out of Montreal. It's a 40-minute drive up here. But it's remarkable. It's a really, really unique space. I could see, a young band, an established band, coming in here for a creative space, a place to sleep, a place to write, a place to record, a place to practice for tours. It's a fascinating idea. I mean, did it just sort of keep growing and growing, or at some point?
The first place we started was here. There was nothing in the building. It was
built
all
the stage.
nice and clean. Yeah, we started with the stage. Even without the stage, there was no stage. We used to put the drum right on the concrete and put some speakers around and just jamming with the boys. And then we say, okay, we have to take this to another level.
Right.
But, okay, we have to build the stage. How are we going to build it? Who's going to weld it? And then the wall for the sound. We need to find the right panel for the sound. Okay, how deep we made. So it was a growing thing, as long as we were putting the sound system and make this thing bigger. So we were kind of doing all the parts, all the walls, all the seating, and completing the light system as well. I didn't have any plan.
Right. I was going to ask you that. So there was
nothing.
no big blueprint. You just said, let's do this. Oh, now let's do that. Which, in a funny way, is kind of how Neverland came about.
Wow.
I mean, I worked at Neverland for years and years,
Wow.
and there was no big plan.
No.
It just grew and grew and grew and grew. So it's been. You started. When did you build the stage? About 4?
4 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, for a 4-year effort, it's amazing. So you have a full kitchen. You can do full catering.
Yes.
I mean, I've counted three bars
Yes.
approximately.
Yes.
A whole residential side. You've got kind of the VIP balcony up there, and then you have, and I know you were very proud of this. You brought me into your remarkable guitar collection.
Yes.
Tell me, how long have you been collecting guitars?
Well, I turned myself. I mean, I always loved to have a good, a collectible item, collectible guitar. Either a bass or a guitar, only one, and play with it, sometimes two, and then, okay, we're gonna get a third one, but this one looks nicer. Well, it's a growing thing, and the bank account goes ding, 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 ding,
Right.
ding, 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 and hopefully it's gonna come back to a certain level
Right.
where you can buy more, but basically that's because of the website like a Reverb and eBay, because when you're just punching whatever the whatever the guitar you want, the year you want, there's a lot of stuff for sales over there, and you can buy stuff from Australia and have it shipped in 2 days over here.
Right.
So the world has changed.
Approximately how many guitars do you own?
I got about 80.
80 guitars.
Yeah.
Amazing. Then you've got the little baby over here. You picked up the Neve.
Yes.
So that's the Neve. I think it's one generation after the Neve that we had at Michael Jackson's Havenhurst studio.
Yes.
Tell me how that came about.
Well, the first drummer I had when I was young, what I was called François Duchesne, is here today, by the way. He's retired. I'm very happy to be here. You know, his brother used to have a professional studio down South Montreal in Bromont. And so he bought it directly from the Radio Canada, which was a TV station in Montreal. And he kept it for many years. He made many albums with that, and a successful album. And he decided that he's not using the board anymore. He preferred to do you know, the mixing and the mastering, get into that kind of business, because he was kind of tired to put the microphone and deal with musicians sometimes, because all musicians are kind of special. So his brother François, you know, that would be very good if my brother Pierre can sell us the board. You know, I'm going to coach him to sell you the board. So he was working on that for about 2 years to convince his brother to get rid of the board, and then because it was me, because it was, you know, for us, and he knew that we were going to take care of it and make sure, you know, it's getting very famous. He says, okay, I'm going to sell it to you. And so we had to find a transportation for that, because it was kind of complicated. It's you know, it's an 8-foot board by 4 feet. There's a lot of electronic in there, so it's but nothing happened so far.
Nice. And for people that don't know, I've worked on a lot of vintage Neve consoles. It really is a labor of love, because it just never, I don't want to say it's never perfect, but when you get done fixing all the way up to channel 40, channel 1, you know, starts saying, hey mom, I need some help. It's constant. And I don't mean that to be depressing, but it's going to just, to maintain a board like that is a tremendous labor of love. And
and you have to find the right guy to do that. Right here in Montreal, I mean, they're hard to find. The guy who really who likes to play in there and knows exactly what they do, it's tough.
Right. So where do you see this, where do you want this to be in 2 years?
Well, in 2 years, you know, I think many albums will be done and create over here, no matter what kind of music. But I think we have put something together that could really make the musician like glow big time, and we will support them and bring them just on the side of the nest and ready to go. Buy.
So you see it as
next one.
All right, so like a development studio.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I get that. I was thinking more of an established band coming in and working on their next project, but you're more interested in artist development.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. I wish you all the best. I think it's a fascinating place. The business you're getting into, and I try so hard with my students, you know, to be optimistic, but the music industry is hard.
Yes.
But you've built something that is so different and so unique, and put just, I'm just going to be blunt, a tremendous amount of money and love into it, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So.
Music is love. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you, my
so
friend.
much, Brad.
Thank you.